Hi, Megan.
Hey, Devon.
Hello, Hockey Style listeners. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. If you're new here, welcome. We have a podcast dedicated to all things hockey with our three-period format. We cover the latest and greatest in the world of hockey. We typically, for the second period, invite on an industry guest to share their subject matter expertise and how they help shape the style of their team, arena, franchise, and of course, the sport that we all love best. And then in the third period, we wrap up with our takeaways and, of course, a hockey style tip. Today's episode is a little bit different. It's special to us because we are talking about one of our favorite moments of the year, training camp. So we will be dedicating all three periods to our experiences last week with the Red Wings training camp in Traverse City, the red and white game in Grand Rapids, and the kickoff of the season. So thanks for hanging with us today. If you haven't yet, go ahead and give us a like, a subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at Hockey Style Podcast and keep up with all of our daily hockey adventures. So, Megan, are you like exhausted after last week's hockey 24/7?
Well, I think it's definitely better than work, so I'll
True.
take it any day.
True. It always cracks me up when the players think that that's our job. Like we actually get, like we're with the Red Wings, just like helping sign autographs. And it's like, no, no, no. We actually have real jobs on top of this fun volunteer job.
Wouldn't
But
it be nice if that was our job just once a year?
yeah, yeah, it would. It would be. So to back up a little bit for our listeners that aren't familiar with training camp, do you want to kind of give the lowdown of how the volunteer process works and what our roles and responsibilities have been?
Yeah, I've been going to training camp for the Red Wings as a volunteer. I have to assume that our camp is structured much like most of the other teams. Ours is based in Traverse City and has been there for over 20 years now, minus a couple of camps where they weren't able to have camp because of a lockout or COVID or something like that. But I've been going since I believe it's 2013 because I think 2012 was the lockout year and that would have been my first year. So the first time I went to camp, I just went as a fan and a spectator and pretty much immediately was like, how do I get more involved? So that first year, I had the pleasure of meeting one of the fantastic media volunteers, Dave Durand, and he basically said, hey, here's a couple people who'd be great for volunteers. And that's how it started. I started as just kind of like a helping out in the retail store, just running the register, doing that type of thing. But always did the golf outing. So they used to do a charity golf outing where they would just have people assist out on the course, the players. So my typical job was measuring for closest to the pin on one of the prize holes. So I did that for, gosh, years until they stopped doing it.
Were you
I
nervous? Was it like high pressure? Like I better measure this accurately. These guys
Well,
are super competitive.
the best part of that is the first year I did it. I wasn't given anything to measure with. Um,
What did you do?
I think I just like did my little footsteps. I was like, close enough. Like, what are they going to yell at me? Cause I don't have a measuring tape. I mean, it is like pretty competitive, but, you'd be surprised with that golf course, the one at Grand Traverse, like, I mean, you kind of have to be a good golfer. So, like, not a lot of
Yeah.
people always even make it onto the green. So, it's not like I had to measure that often,
Okay. Because we are
especially,
dealing with professional athletes, so they're a little bit
yeah.
competitive.
But it was never really that difficult. But then I did just start bringing my own measuring tape. So, no problems there.
Cute.
Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I usually had the 13th hole on the bear, and that one was entertaining because it had, like sand and water and like this little green and bunker. It was a lot to get through, and it was fun to watch them all struggle. Um, and just over the years, I've worked into different positions. I think the first year I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all in because they typically had a prospect tournament beforehand. Used to usually be about 8 teams would come to Traverse City. Scouts from every team would come to watch them, and there's things to do around that. So I volunteered in the Scouts Lounge for a prospects tournament. And then that year it was like, well, I'm going to be there the whole time. Like, is there any jobs that you need filled that, just I'm going to be there the whole time, nothing but working for you guys. And that's how I got in the autograph room. And that is basically how all the volunteers get paid. Um, so they don't have to worry about people asking for autographs and things like that. Every volunteer that works, a certain amount of hours is allowed to put an item into the autograph room for the team to sign or an individual to sign.
Yeah.
But
If you're listening to audio only, Megan used quotes for paid because of course we don't get paid, but
right.
it's better than money because you get to leave with a custom signed item. So,
Yes.
mhm,
So, it takes a lot of people to run training camp and all those people work so hard. So it's really nice that they do that. But it's good to the organization of it is incredible. Like how we run the room is amazing because they're individual items that you're processing, getting signed, and then making sure it gets back to that individual. And it's not as easy as someone saying, like, oh, that's my jersey. Like you have to tag and categorize and make sure everything's correct. So, with such a high volume of volunteers, usually it is quite an undertaking. And then we also assist them when they sign just to get them through the room as fast as possible.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I do at training camp.
Yes, and it actually, even though it's a lot of work, is quite an incredible experience and a great time, especially when we're doing it together. So I got to meet Dave this year. Actually, I think I met him very briefly
I'm
last year,
sure
but
you did. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
this year I got to say, well, thank you for bringing Megan into the volunteer world like 12 ish years ago, because then
Hmm.
Megan brought me in last year and it's the highlight of the off season. Well, kickoff of preseason, if you will.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. So thanks, Megan, for bringing me along in
Hmm.
what is a very special time and place to you. So the autograph room too is obviously a rather sought after position because you're working one on one with players. And when you say you're helping them, when you told me that last year, I pictured like, what do you mean? Like, is Patrick Kane like teaching you how to do his autograph? Like, what is this? But you actually meant like they get these piles of jerseys and things to sign, and you're helping sort them and flip them. And so, what is that experience like? You alluded to um, organization being key. How have you helped some of the players through this autograph process?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I can't act like I invented the number system, but as far as like helping the players, there's just certain things you do. Like if there's a stack of jerseys that people want team signed on the back. You just put them all in a stack, almost like you would in a retail store. Like if you were, like a
Yeah.
fancy display in a retail store. And then once the player's ready to sign, you just stand there with them and flip as they sign so that they don't have to keep moving jerseys, so they don't make a mess of the pile, just to make it quick, fast, easy for them. Um, Other than that, like it's a locker room that we're in on ice level. So, um, there's just tons and tons of tables with everything laid out so that they can just sign. They just go and sign and they don't have to worry about it. And everything's organized. So this is team signed. And if someone has individual, it's in a separate area. And once we're in the room, we lay that all out for them so they can be done with it as quick as possible.
Okay.
Um, there was one experience with Patrick Kane, and it was during the regular season, but it was when he first came, and it was pretty incredible because this was the Wings' first chance to have him autograph things, and he had these massive piles. But they were also doing meetings the day that we were having the signing, and he was like, "Oh, I got to go to a meeting. I just have a few minutes." He's like, "You know what? Let's just do a few." So it was a pile of no less than 50 jerseys. And we were watching the clock for him because we knew he only had minutes. And I flipped for him. He signed. It took him 4 minutes.
Wow.
It
That
was
is a
incredible.
true pro through and
He's
through.
so good at it. And I do like, I like his signature. I think it's distinct. Like, that's
Yeah.
Patrick Kane's signature, and he's real, real good at it. He's had some
Yes.
practice.
Yes. I love it. Okay. So that's now everyone can kind of visualize the logistics. Clearly, there are times when a few surprises pop up during this process. And I know you have some funny stories. Speaking of Patrick Kane's
Patrick
beautiful
Kane.
88 signature, any you want to share with our listeners?
Oh, sure. So, pre Patrick Kane, a lovely player by the name of Daniel Sprong took 88 that season, and I guess there's some videos out there of him talking about why he chooses numbers, and I believe he did have a specific reason for going ahead with 88. But he got into the room, and it was his first time signing it because it was his first time choosing that number, and he couldn't figure out how to do the eights, and it was so cute because he was trying to do like 4 circles to do the 8s, and we're trying to show him, "No, you can do this one smooth move." So we were, like, showing him, like, on the table how to do it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna get that." And he's like, this was a mistake. I'm never taking this number again."
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
because
sure
they
he wasn't sad when he gave it up to Patrick Kane later that year.
that's hilarious. Like little
Mhm.
did Gainer know, he probably didn't need to get him some fancy shopping spree or
Yeah.
luggage set or watch or
I
whatever. He was
have
glad to get rid of
no
it.
idea if we ever found out what he gave in exchange, but yeah, he probably
Yeah.
didn't need to. Sprong would have probably been like, "Yeah, you can
That is
have that
so
back."
funny. If I
Mhm.
remember correctly, Sprong said it's Kane's story to tell, and Kane said it's Sprong's story to tell. So they never really divulged, but it was something he said, like, we had a really nice day shopping. So
Oh
whatever that,
boy.
yeah. And I believe, I could be butchering this, but I believe they were on the West Coast road trip at that time. So I can only, in my mind, go to like, oh, what would it be like to spend the day on Rodeo Drive with Patrick Kane treating you to, I mean,
Patrick
who
Kane's
knows?
credit card.
Patrick, yeah, but also his great company, right? He'd be a good shopping buddy for the day.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so very funny stories, and I can testify to that being true, even though it happened long before I was there, because I saw the 88 on the table
Yeah,
that is
still
still
there.
used. That's great. So clearly, Kaner has stacks and stacks of jerseys, as does Larkin, Moen, Razor now. DeBrinket had a huge stack this year, which was really fun to see. But sometimes you get the younger guys who come through who are rookies or prospects, or even there's a few PTOs that may come into the room, paid tryouts, right, for camp. What are some of the things you've noticed about them when they need help or might get a little confused through the signing process?
Well, everybody, the whole team is technically a required to come through the room, so everyone's supposed to. So sometimes you're getting kids that have never had to do this before.
Yeah.
And my favorite question that we would get occasionally is they would go to start signing and they'd be like, "Oh, what number do I sign?" It's like, definitely your camp number, so
Yeah.
people know who you are. Like,
Yeah. What are
I
you
don't know if they're
wearing
gonna
right now?
recognize your signature. Like,
Yeah, and a few of them would, like the new guys, they're probably like 19, right? They're looking at their behind them like, what number am I wearing? Can you tell? It's very cute. My favorite with the young guys coming in is that these are incredible elite hockey players, and many of them are going to go on to have illustrious NHL careers, but they still have their like beautiful, most of them beautiful autographs where you can actually see every letter. And it takes, if Patrick King can do his in point 5 seconds, theirs takes like, a good 5 seconds to write it all out. And I like teasing them like, buddy, you're gonna make it big, like you gotta tighten that up, you gotta lose some letters, like you're
I don't
going
know.
places.
I guess I'm a traditionalist,
Yeah.
and I like how, like, someone like Ted Lindsay thought that it was
Oh,
very important to sign a proper autograph
yes.
because those are your fans. And I always loved that he tried to encourage that. So I don't know. I think they should keep their signatures.
Oh, I hope they do. I hope they do. But
Hmm.
there must be some point at which you cross over into like the, okay, I got to go faster. Because yeah, definitely the rookie signatures are seem to be the prettiest or the most intricate. We did notice, we won't name drop, but we did notice one player who I think officially could say like he's a solidified, like important NHLer, part of our team, who shortened his autograph a little bit this year. So keep your eye out. You can let us know if you figure out who that was.
Yeah, who
So
knows if he's gonna keep it or if he was just let's get through this. Who knows?
yeah,
But
maybe he was just having a day.
mhm.
Yeah. So tons of fun.
Definitely.
And of course, we got some insights into our thoughts on the coming season. But before we go there, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your past experiences with camp that you touched on when you were giving us the overview. Namely, let's start with this. How did you, like, you connected with Dave? How did you get into the inner circle of volunteers? Because now it's not like people say like, oh, I want to do that, but it's really like it's hard to get into.
I don't know. It was just my one of my favorite people at camp. I mean, they're all wonderful, but the gentleman who runs the prospect tournament is Jerry, and Jerry is the one who sent me to Tom and thought
Oh,
that I would be good in the autograph room, probably because he had seen me for years at the golf outing, and you know, no big deal. They're just guys. I know how to act. So yeah,
yes. Tom
that's
and
how I got
Jerry.
in there. Yeah.
Love them. No, they are
Yes.
really, really good people. I don't know if it's because they're hockey people and hockey people tend to be great people, or if it's because they're Traverse City people who are also like so nice and laid
Yeah,
back and wonderful.
everyone is
It's a good group.
so much fun. Everyone's great. It's always one of the best parts is seeing everybody every year, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. So most NHL teams have some sort of pre-camp endeavor, whether it's a fundraiser, an event, a golf outing. We don't have the golf outing anymore, as you mentioned. But I think personally, some of your funniest stories and have to be what you observed or experienced while you were on the course with the players. Care to share any of your golf stories?
There are definitely a lot. Yeah, where to even start? I think probably one of everyone's favorite is that Pavel Datsuk almost hit me with a golf ball. Um, Yeah, he didn't mean to, and I didn't mean for it to be that close, but it was on the Wolverine and not the Bear. So it was my
Okay.
first year, my very first year doing this. And I was basically just kind of left on one of the holes of the Wolverine in the middle of nowhere. And they had put some of the bigger names on the Wolverine because it was just less crowded, less, dealing with things. So there was no like there's nowhere to stand. Like it's basically like an open green and then like an open sky. And I'm
Ooh.
supposed to be watching for closest to the pin. So they hit a golf ball. I can't see it. I hope it doesn't hit me. But I think he probably came within like 2 feet of me. And
Oh
it's just,
my
I
God.
can't see it. Like I can't see it
Yeah.
against the sky. And it hits and I'm like,
Yep.
oh, geez, that could have been not so great. And he gets to the green and he's like, I am so glad you are not hurt. And I'm like, it's really okay. It's not your fault, not my
He's
fault.
so
Like, I don't, were
sweet.
you aiming for me though? I can't tell. Um,
Maybe it was your fault, Pavel.
I don't know. But that one was really funny. That was an interesting year, that first year. And I remember one year, like they just random things like Johan Franzen, he comes by and he's like, I always had a little backpack with snacks because you're basically just out on the course all day.
Yep.
And, better to have a snack and make sure you're not starving to death because there's certainly no food out there. And he's like, oh, what do you have in the backpack? And I'm like, snacks. And he's like, what do you have? And I'm like, animal crackers. He's like, oh, animal crackers. And I'm like, this is the weirdest
Did
conversation.
you share your animal crackers with
I think I
Franzen?
offered, but I think he was all set, which is understandable.
That's adorable. Okay,
But that was
speaking
really
of
funny.
your backpack, you had a pretty funny story. Weren't the guys giving you some flack about your backpack?
So yeah, at one point when Evgeny Svechnikov left the Wings and went to Winnipeg, that's when I started collecting various Winnipeg Jets things. And they actually had Herschel backpacks that were branded Winnipeg Jets. So I ordered one and had it sent over. And then I took it and had like his number put on it. So it's just a Winnipeg's Jets backpack with the 71 that is in the Winnipeg font, so it looks like his backpack. And two guys noticed it. One of them was Tyler Bertuzzi, and he was like, "Oh, did you steal Svetch's backpack?" And I'm like, I haven't been to Canada, so I didn't get the chance to do that. But I'm like, and technically, it's not his. Um, and then Dylan Larkin noticed it and he was already driving by on the golf cart and he kind of just he sees it and he goes, "Is that a Jets backpack?" And he's like zooming by and I'm like, "Yep, but it's Svechnikov." And he yelled back, "That's okay then."
I love it. They're probably like, who is this volunteer who bring well, not really, they know you, but like, why in the world is Megan here at the Red Wings golf outing with a Jets backpack? But as soon as they knew Svechnikov, everyone's like, that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's all okay.
Mm.
That's
That's a
cute.
pretty
That's
good
actually
one.
a very cute backpack too, I have to say.
It's yeah, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, there was one time too where we almost got Jonathan Erickson lost in in the woods in the golf course because we didn't know how to get back, and neither did he, and he was following us. And
Oh
we're
my
like,
gosh.
"Sorry, like we don't know where we are." And he's like, "Where are you guys taking me?" And we're like, "We don't know. We want to go back too."
Sorry, guys. Erickson may be a little late for camp tomorrow. He's lost in the woods.
Yep, sorry.
Oh my
Maydaying for help
goodness.
in the weeds. Oh,
So
then there was another really funny one. Witkowski. He is a very I don't know what the right word is. Serious fisherman? I think serious is the right word because he brought a fishing pole on the golf course and was absolutely fishing in the little
stop
water
it.
features. Oh yeah.
I'm not certain that's allowed, but you know
Mhm.
what? If he was enjoying, so like, was the fishing pole in his golf bag?
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. I have
It
never heard of
was.
that. That
Yeah.
is amazing.
hmm
Wow. You've seen it
Um,
all.
and the only other quick one I'll share, which is kind of funny, when prospects tournaments were still, a lot of teams coming, a lot of the teams would golf like teams like staff or like scouts or whatever would golf that golf course during like their stay. And at one point, one year, we found a bunch of Toronto Maple Leafs things like hidden around the course. So like on the stairs going down into one of my sand traps, there was like a Maple Leaf logo like posted up on the stairs.
Oh my God, that's
Because
amazing.
they
So the
knew that the team
yeah.
would play
Oh,
on the
that's
course later that
so
week.
funny. You've never
hmm
told me that. That is too
It's a really
funny.
good, yeah. I have a picture of me like holding it, like, oh,
I love it. What a good little Easter egg prank. They had to wait like a whole year for the guys to find that. That's dedication.
no, just a few days later. So like
Oh,
they
a
were
few days
play,
later.
yeah, they're there for prospects, and then yeah,
I thought
they're
you meant like the summer prior. They're like,
uh-uh.
"Ooh, next year these guys are gonna."
No, no, just a couple days.
Okay, okay, still funny. I like it. And for our listeners who've been with us a while, who know that you're a big fan of Evgeny Svechnikov and a big collector, didn't your, um, I guess your uh, uh, friendship with him, like the first time you really interacted with him, wasn't that right after the golf outing at camp?
Oh yeah. So he didn't golf. That wasn't his thing, but there's always a dinner after the golf outing when they would have it. And typically whoever golf like all the players would have to be there. So some that didn't
Yeah,
golf are just there at the dinner and they sit intermixed with the teams and everything. And usually I'd be running like straight from the golf course to this dinner, which was more cocktail attire, so I'd have to change. So I was always just a little bit late and a little bit behind.
of
So the
course.
one
It's
year, like
okay.
I get my table assignment and I like run up to the front because it was one of the first tables. And I go to sit down, and of course, the only open seats next to a player. I'll never understand why. This happened almost every single time. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm sitting by him. I'm like, I hope I don't drive him crazy.
Like people
So
didn't want to sit by the players?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
They
funny.
typically would not sit by them. So I sit down and like no one's really talking at the table. It's kind of, and I don't really know everybody at the table either. So I'm like, whatever. Like, how often do I get to hang out with a prospect? Like, we're just gonna talk. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, no golf for you? No, no, I don't do that. And he has like such a great bubbly personality. He made it like so easy to talk to and I could actually ask him fun questions. Like he's one of the few at that point that had played at the Joe and at Little Caesars. So which one did you like better?
Oh, good question.
And how's your brother doing? How's he liking Carolina? Is that going
Yeah.
good? Like he's doing great. Like those types of questions. So I could ask him things that were more, you know,
Personal.
not just, yeah, I kind of knew a little bit. And he was just so nice and kind, and he giving his drink tickets away to people at the table, just like holding court. And then
That's
he did
sweet.
the sweetest thing ever. So for whatever reason, I was really, really excited that we got Jonathan Bernier. That was his first season. So I was really excited to see him. He did in golf. So at one point, I was like, Evgeny, is Bernier here? And he's like, yeah, he's somewhere. Let me find him. And he goes
Oh,
and gets Bernier and then takes our picture,
oh
which
my
was just the
goodness.
sweetest. Like,
He
he
took
doesn't have to
your
do that.
picture.
Yeah, he
Like
took
he
my picture with Bernier.
okay, well
Yeah,
that you're making me an Evgeny fan, Megan.
back off. Um,
There's only room in this state for one of us.
for one of us, yeah, no, and that's just the way he was. Like, he's just a great guy who selfless, like just having a great time and just
Yeah.
the best personality. So that's kind of how we really, had the opportunity to
Yeah.
meet and connect. And he was happy to chat for an hour or so because what else were we going to do?
Yeah, definitely. Camp is so special in that way. Obviously, it's all about the team setting the strategy for the year, but also building their own relationships and fostering that team mentality. But it's also for people like you who've been a volunteer for so long. It's become such a nice way for you to get to know players and connect in a more interpersonal capacity, where you get to
Mm-hmm.
know their preferences and their personalities, like off the ice, which honestly adds to the fun of the game and cheering for the team. So if you
Yeah.
ever wonder why is Megan's collection so interesting, it's not always like the superstars of the team. A lot of it is because of the folks you got to meet at camp, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I never like he pretty much instantly became my favorite player at that point, but I was just real lackadaisical about collecting. I never bought a thing until he left.
Yeah.
So I
Oh my gosh.
retroactively acquired everything.
Yep. It's funny how many friends we have in the collectors world who have not quite as great of stories as yours, but like similar stories in that they just connected with a player, and regardless of where that player was in their career, or how good they were, it added to the fun of cheering them on and possibly collecting their pieces. I always think of our friend Robert's story. He was just left a restaurant waiting for a cab or waiting for his car or something, and Mo Sider comes out and he just had like the best chat with Mo Sider. And now he's like one of the world's largest Mo Sider collectors. Like you never know how it'll happen, but it is fun when you get to know the players behind the masks and the helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forwarding to this season, camp was a little bit different this year.
Yes.
In your perspective, how want to tell everybody how it was a little bit different and some of your takeaways from that?
They just kind of shortened it, and prospects went down to Dallas because Dallas is the one team that has consistently come and done some sort of prospect tournament or game or whatever, even if it's just the two of us. So we made the trip down to Dallas this year because it was just our two prospect pools playing each other. So that's kind of nice that we did that exchange. So there was no prospects this year. They also decided to have the red and white game in Grand Rapids this year, which I believe before I was on the scene that was the norm. Like it was always in
Mm-hmm.
Grand Rapids. So this year we had a very abbreviated 3-day camp where they just did their training and practices and all that stuff in Traverse City for 3 days and then headed over to Grand Rapids for the red and white game.
Yeah. So no fancy golf outing or pre-party or fundraiser, just the 3 days of intense practices, scrimmages, strategy for the guys, and then red and white game in Grand Rapids, which was very different. Did you think the flow worked like that?
Um, I mean, I enjoyed having the game in Grand Rapids, but I'd
Yeah.
rather just do it in Traverse City.
Yeah.
That's easier. But it was
Yeah.
very nice. I was the only thing, this is like the weirdest thing to be like, why didn't you do this? I don't know why they didn't have any merch. Like you could have
Oh
even just
yeah.
done a t-shirt
Yeah.
and I would have bought it.
Yeah. And well, exactly, because the difference is having it at the arena in Traverse City, where it's been for a while now. Um, it's so small. It's Center Ice Arena, where like local teams will play versus Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, where our AHL affiliate, the Grand Rapids Griffins, plays, is much much larger, and they sold out. They
Mhm.
they sold it out. So there could have, I think, they would have made a killing if they had
Yeah,
some
and don't have to
limited
go
merch.
crazy. Just
Yeah,
make a t-shirt.
yeah, exactly.
Just
Yeah,
simple.
it's a great point.
Mhm.
But they did do some really cool things because it was sold out. Um, Talk about some of the vendors that were there and the alumni that came to kind of kick off the centennial year for the Red Wings and then the 30th anniversary of the Griffins.
Well, one of our absolute favorite vendors in the world was there, Second String Leather, and they
Woo
were right
woo.
there when we came up the stairs. So if there were other vendors there, I apologize because I was just immediately snatched up by the excitement of getting to see all of the Second String product in one place.
Yeah, yeah. We never get to do that. It was a
Mm-mm.
rainbow of
Mhm.
beautiful second string leather goods. If you haven't caught our three previous podcasts with second string leather, I recommend going back and watching. They're some of our favorite episodes because
Mhm.
the founders, Zach and Joe, are some of the greatest people, but also their products are made from game used equipment, mostly goalie equipment, but it's pretty exciting if you are a hockey nerd like us to get your hands on some of those pieces.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
and only one other time have I gotten to see just everything
did you
all
uh
out.
did you leave with anything special from Second String?
Well, I did leave with a Tim Thomas wallet that actually made its debut at the Shabuzi concert last night because I needed a smaller wallet.
Awesome. And it was Team USA,
It
Tim
was Team
Thomas, right?
USA. Yep.
Oh, so good. So
Mm-hmm.
good.
I don't
We'll
know. I
have
think
to
you should tell us if you got anything from Second String.
I did. I thought I was going to miss it because it was limited edition, but I did get my hands on one of Sebastian Cosa's wallets. And I felt so guilty because after the game, we went back to see Joe and Zach again, and they said, "Oh, you're so fortunate you got this. It was the last one." And Kosa's mom came by, Mrs. Kosa, after like the first period or the first half, I should say, and because they only do two periods. Long story short, she came over to get one, and they were gone. And I said, "Guys, you should have sold her mine or given her mine. Like honestly, she deserves it more than me." But they're gonna hook her up. Don't worry, they've got her covered. So that
It's
was
funny.
fun. And then we had a very exciting collaboration with Second String, and we were so excited because the guys decided to do the grand reveal of our collaboration in Van Andel immediately following the game. Did you love
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yeah, it was perfect.
So I don't know if you've had any seconds today to even glance at Instagram, Megan, because you've been so busy with work. But the Second String guys actually just posted a reel of what they created for us and mentioned their collaboration with Hockey Style Podcast.
It is
It
also
looks
on the
awesome.
Facebook.
Oh, there you go. I never look
Mhm.
at the Facebook, as you know.
Mhm.
Okay, tell us about that because you were the one who procured the game used piece that
Yeah.
led to our pieces.
You can see it in the last episode of Second String. It was a Thomas Rice glove. And yeah, we sliced and diced it and made some cute little clutches.
The attention to detail that Second String puts into every one of their pieces is unparalleled. So at mine, I have a Red Wings wallet that is from a piece. I believe it's from a pad, but anyway, it has the Vaughn, down the side, and it just has the letter A. So I had said, "Hey guys, if you can use the A anywhere, that'd be cool because it'd match my wallet. But if not, no big deal." So they actually did like on the outside this cool patch with just the A from the Vaughn, and then you had a pretty cool little Easter egg inside
My
yours, right?
little Easter egg, and I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but
I think we did.
sometimes they label like with Roman numerals their gear, and the glove I had just happened to have a 3 on it. So inside mine, my interior pocket has that 3. They used that piece to make my interior pocket. So it's really cool.
It's incredible, and three's your favorite number,
Mhm.
so it all just came together.
Mhm.
So I can't remember how we got this idea. I think you I got to give you credit. I think you came up with it, but you said, wouldn't it be cool if we had some sort of clutch specific for the centennial, because the Red Wings will be doing all these special events. They have their fan fest taking place at Motor City Casino where you can meet alumni and, see artifacts and moments in Red Wings history. They have a really fancy night at the Fox Theater where there'll be speakers and presentations. And we wanted these little clutches. So we, of course, reached out to partner with Second String, and Megan said, "Hey, I even have a glove." That did not shock me because if you see your beautiful background today, if you're not listening to YouTube, this is just one small glimpse of some of the equipment, game worn and game used pieces Megan has. So, of course, she found a glove tucked away, but I couldn't believe how beautiful the pieces turned out. And so, us, you know.
Mhm. They're
And then
perfect.
they used a little bit. You'd be surprised how far a goalie glove can stretch in terms of making really meaningful pieces because there were two additional items that they made.
Yes.
Tell us about those.
Well, we decided if we were going to have special centennial items that the guys should get them too. So
Yes.
they made us two additional 3-slot card wallets for them. And I think I think they both probably already had red and white, but these are special because we got to have some of the gold foil done
Mm.
on them. So that makes them a little bit different from everything else they have. So that was really exciting. They look so good. And I believe one is already in use right now.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if Tover's changed his yet. Like he's like keeping it pristine until the centennial events, but I'm like, it has puck marks already, buddy.
Yeah, it's okay.
But it is kind of cool to say that all four of us now have a piece that came from the same equipment.
Hmm.
It's so
Yes.
somewhere they all sync up and connect. We'll have to figure that out. Like
I don't know. Yeah,
compare puck marks at some
maybe.
point. Yeah, but Second String Leather Company did an unbelievable job. So if you haven't yet checked them out online, go ahead and do that. Follow their socials, Second String Leather, and you can see some of the incredible pieces that they design.
Hmm.
So outside of the vendors at Van Andel, apparently there was a ton of really cool alumni who came to support the effort, but we didn't even get to see them because
We
I
did
think it was
not.
it was mostly for like season ticket holders of the Grand Rapids Griffins because this
I
was
don't
kind of
know if
their
that
moment.
was the plan, but that's how it happened.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe they didn't plan for the number of people that would immediately want to go meet
Hmm.
these individuals. But yeah, wasn't it like off the top of my head, Mickey Redman, Chris Draper, uh, who else? There was
I think
tons of people
Maltby was
there.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Darren McCarty was
McCarty.
there.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so it was kind of cool for the West Side team, the West Side super fans, to get to do some of those things that hopefully we'll get to do soon back at LCA in Detroit.
Yeah.
So we really were all over the place, but it
Hmm.
was a good camp. I You had a fun concert last night, right,
I did. Oh
Shabuzi?
my gosh. Yes. He's the best.
Did he play all your favorite songs?
Yeah, for the most part, for sure.
Yeah. Did you bust out the Shabuzi line dance?
I don't know that the Fillmore has room for the Shibuzi line dance.
I was hoping you'd like teach your section of the crowd.
No, no,
No, no.
no.
Well, while you were there, my husband and I checked out the first preseason game, and the energy is still there. The guys looked good. Emmett Finney stole the show, so things are in motion already. Finney had a moment where we were playing the Chicago Blackhawks. Connor Bedard was zooming as he does, and Finney just stole the puck right off his stick. And I'm like, look at you go, buddy. Um, and somehow we won with I mean, it was close for a while. I got nervous. We were tied up for a bit, but we ended with like 40 plus shots on goal to their 17. So we deserved the win. But the guys, which were mostly our Grand Rapids Griffin guys, looked really good.
Um, since I didn't get to go, there was just one glaring name in that lineup. But
JT Comfer.
yep,
Yeah, I'm in your brain.
yep.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I was like, is he like puking in the bathroom right now? Like,
Yeah,
it's
the
crazy.
it was all Grand Rapids Griffins guys from last year. So prospects essentially like from I don't know if we had anyone from the walleye play, but mostly the guys who are AHLers. And then JT Comfer, and then also Travis Hamonic um,
Hamnick.
from the Ottawa Senators, who
But I feel
technically is a
like,
vet, but new to us. So he was
yeah,
getting into it.
I feel like it might have been Nick from Hockeytown West. And if it wasn't him, I don't mean to make things up, but I think he sort of had him, Harmonic earmarked for Grand Rapids anyways.
Oh, did he?
Like,
Okay.
I think, and I'm so sorry, Nick, if that is not what you said. I just
Yeah.
have this memory of someone saying that.
Yes. You know what? Someone did. I don't know if it was Nick, but
I don't know.
we really, this is one of those weird years where there are more pieces up in the air than usual in terms of who's going to fill out some of these lines. I thought it would be more solidified, but then things like last night happen and Emmett Finney just blows my mind. And I'm like, hey, I did not plan on you being on the NHL squad to start, but they're all still vying for these
I
spots.
guess in my experience, even when they blow your mind, if they're not ready, they're not going to pull them.
Yeah. And then I was thinking about, Nate Danielson. He's technically playing at an NHL level, but at maybe a third or fourth line. And I don't know that our franchise would want to move him into a fourth line spot and give him, 6 to 8 minutes a game when he will be on the first line in Grand Rapids and continue to play meaningful minutes. So there's a lot of clear decisions to be made, but lines are still up in the air. Like it's going to be really interesting to see where we start the season.
Yeah, I was surprised that Berggren was on that lineup as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
but he's one who he's in that boat where there hasn't been a spot for him. So when he plays up with us, he's not playing as many minutes. He can't be as productive.
Yeah.
And if he's not,
Exactly.
I don't know. It's so interesting.
Yeah. But there were still because obviously we still have 50-ish guys on the roster right now. There will still be AHLers that play in tomorrow's preseason game
Yeah, of
against
course.
Buffalo. So I
Absolutely.
think there's some element of wanting to mix up dynamics too, like how will these guys work together if we put them out? Like they might as well play around right now. So it's just interesting. Anything can happen. And hopefully it does. Hopefully we see some of these young guys called up. I know this is where this is where glass half full, glass half empty comes in. But we really, really hope we get to see some of the young guys. Um, Coastal looked pretty good. Uh, he had a great camp, so I hope that will help his case. But going back to camp on that note, shall we transition into our experiences from this year
Sure.
with the players and some of the the funny things that happened as well as our takeaways? Do you want to
Sure.
kick us off?
I don't know if I have anything super funny. I don't know.
Not that we can share on air. No, just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I
No,
mean,
not, some things we may just not want to. But I'll start with like a general one that I know you agree with because we've talked about this already. But last season was my first time at camp, and I would kind of ask all the guys as they came through, "How's camp going? Do you like camp? How's it been?" And I would get answers pretty much across the board of, "It's good. It's been good." Good was the adjective that was most commonly used. This year, same question to everybody, rookies, vets, prospects. It's terrific. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Like, oh, I love the scrimmages. Everyone's playing so fast. Like, um, the coaching has been phenomenal. I love the systems. Like, we're having the best time. Even the restaurants are great in Traverse City. Like, it was so positive and the vibes were so high. And I mean, 100% of the people. Like, there wasn't one who was like, it was good.
yeah,
So,
even people who traditionally are somewhat grumpy
yeah,
were
I was going to say
quite
quiet, but
lovely.
yeah, it was wild.
I'm
We
not
didn't
going
have a
to name
single,
any names.
yeah, yes,
Lovely though.
absolutely lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I thought if nothing else, if that energy and enthusiasm can continue and show up on the ice, that can be enough to make a difference. we may not have all the chess pieces on the board that we hoped we would have going into the new season, but that level of excitement and camaraderie and just spirit, like there's something to be said for it. So I hope it continues, but it definitely was noticeable. Are you staying?
I no, I mean, I wish I thought that that was going to be the
Yeah.
magic pill, but
I don't know that it's enough, but it's something, right? So, and the one noticeable difference from last year, under Lalonde's team, there was a lot of, I would say most of the time on the ice was drills,
mhm,
practice. There was, now granted, we were on one ice rink and there was another separate ice rink where more drills were being held. But where
yes,
we were in our locker room, it was always a scrimmage. I mean,
mhm,
and these scrimmages weren't like, oh, it's just a scrimmage. I'm going to half ass it. These were guys playing full out. Austin Watson put somebody over the boards. Marco Casper and Eric Gustafson, like, almost got into it. Like, this was just a scrimmage. And they were looking like they were playing for, getting a playoff spot. I loved it. Was exciting hockey.
mhm.
Maybe part of that is because a lot of the guys are trying to make the team. But
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
So on it, going back into the room, into our room, not the room. Who were some of the guys, the players that surprised you or that you got excited about just meeting from a personality standpoint?
Oh, definitely Austin Watson.
Yeah.
I had been dying to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and he came in, and I would have been completely surprised at how fun and like entertaining and like he kind of feels like Uncle Austin. Nick kind of hinted at that when we talked with him, but he really is kind of just like a great leader for all of those young guys. And he was really cute when I got to tell him the story of talking with his brother at Amazon, which just briefly, I met his brother working at Amazon, and he did not expect that I would know who his brother was, but I very much knew and had some of his stuff, a goal puck and a stick when he was still with Ottawa. So
Yeah.
it was kind of funny telling him his brother didn't give him enough
Yeah.
credit, and he's like, "Well, I guess not." Like, but yeah, it was really fun to meet him finally.
he loved your story. It was so cute.
It's
And you
so
could tell
random.
he kind of acknowledged after the other guys had left the room and it was just him and us ladies. He kind of acknowledged like he's got that reputation for being like a little bit scary, if you will, sometimes. Like he likes it. He likes his image. So he kind of let his guard down for us a little bit, if I may say, and he showed his sweet side a little bit.
Eh, yeah, I think that's him in the room. I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
he's great. My biggest surprise is, Dylan Larkin. If I can tell my story, with him, he, I told this earlier in the season on our podcast, I think, but it was the last day of the season and of locker clean out, and I was heading downtown to meet some friends and they wanted to get Dylan Larkin to sign something for them. So I'm just waiting in on the side of the street while they're doing that because I don't want to do that. But after they were done, Dylan looked over at me and he said, "Oh, did you want me to sign anything?" And I said, "No, no, no." And I got flustered and I started talking fast as I do. And I just said, "No, I just wanted to tell you, like, great season, great job, have a wonderful summer, and I love you." And then I thought, what did I just say? It was just like a third grade kid, like accidentally telling their teacher, I love you when they thought they were talking to their mom. I had this moment of like, that just came out. And he looked at me and he giggled and he goes, I love you too. And I immediately called Megan and said, like, so Dylan Larkin loves me now. No, I'm just kidding. Clearly, he thought it was ridiculous. But ever since that day, I've been like, Dylan actually has this like really fun side to his personality that we don't get to see so much when he's in like captain mode and dealing with all the things he has to deal with. So at camp, he came into the room and I never assume that he remembers me, but he saw me and he goes, Oh, hey, so you're here. I thought, are you cheering for Buffalo this season? And I laughed. And I'm like, the fact that he remembers that I'm an Alex Lyon fan and Lyon is now with Buffalo Sabres and thought to ask me if I had defected to Buffalo. I did say, well, yeah, but only because you guys don't need to worry about Buffalo. And he goes, no, no, it's cool. You can cheer for Al. We all miss Al. And I was like, oh, they call him Al? That's adorable. So, what can I say? Huge Dylan Larkin fan over here. He may be my next jersey. Although I'm running out of room in the closet, so I gotta cut back. So that was a fun one. Who did you like from the prospect world?
Um, oh gosh, I don't even think I could say his name, even though we discussed it at length.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I'm still gonna mess it up. Um,
Are you talking about Trail
Trail
Max?
Max. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Eddie,
Eddie, he is a hoot.
hilarious. Yeah,
Oh
he
my
was the
gosh.
best.
Total like 10 out of 10 personality. Just like,
Yeah, he's
yeah. He tried like 10 times to tell people how it's like trail mix, but it's trail max. And he just says it so eloquently. But he finally turned the corner and he said to us, you guys can just call me Eddie.
yeah.
We're like, okay, we'll do that. He was darling. I had a lot of fun talking to Axel Sandine Pellica.
Oh,
And
you're
then,
not even gonna tell the funny part about Eddie?
oh no, please tell the funny
Oh
part.
my gosh, when
I
you
don't know if I
asked him,
remember.
sometimes we ask them random questions,
No.
and you were just like, "Oh, do you like the new sneakers this year? Like, do you like them? They
Yes.
look really good." And he's like, "Yeah, I think they're really comfortable." He kind of thought about it for a second. I think they're great. And Devin said to him, "Well, they're really cute." And he stood up from the dining table and he said, "Well, I have to say, I only consider, you know, how cute things are anyways. So that's all that matters to me."
Megan, I totally forgot about
You
that.
forgot about that?
This is why you and I
He's
need
like,
to do like a debrief on all the conversations we
he was
had.
like,
I'm so
"That's
embarrassed. I
my
asked
main reason when I put shoes. Are they cute? Who
that.
cares how are they cute? Perfect."
Oh my God, I totally forgot. Not like, are they supporting my aching feet
Mm-mm.
after a long skate? It's, are they cute? I can't believe I told him I thought they were cute. Who
I
am
can't
I?
either, but his reaction was perfection.
Oh my God, so good. By the way, side note, those shoes were really cute.
I mean,
They
they
looked
were
like,
great. I thought they were
yeah,
fun.
they had all the red, white, gray, like they looked
They
really
were red,
light.
white, and black.
Were they black?
They looked really good with the workout gear.
Yeah. Yeah, they added a little splash.
Hmm.
So Eddie, they were cute. You can keep
They were
wearing
cute, Eddie. Sorry.
them. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. So any other Eddie anecdotes? That was the main
No,
one.
that was the
Okay.
best one. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he was
Um,
funny. Like,
yeah,
but
he was funny, but then I was gonna say also from the young person pool, Axel Sandine Pellica, and then right after him, like 15 minutes later, Michael Brandsegg Nygaard came in, and I just feel like the way they tease each other is reminiscent of early Mo Sider and Lucas Raymond. Like these guys are so funny with one another, and that dynamic is very cool. And getting to see them on a line together last night or on the ice at the same time was something that I think is going to be a staple for us moving forward. Like they're building something really good.
hopefully.
Yeah. We won't share the way they teased one another. That's their story, but let's just say it's kind of reminiscent of like a Michigan Ohio rivalry with like
Hmm.
Norway and Sweden.
And the delivery was perfect.
It was a little bit of that, so use your imagination. But they clearly really get along well and have good chemistry.
Very funny.
We took a picture of the full roster, but I don't have it pulled up. But I know we're forgetting to mention so
Oh,
many guys.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You could never cover it all.
No. Anyone else stand out? Did I miss
Hmm.
anything we should share with the listeners?
Mm, I can't think of anything right now.
I'll share John
Mm.
Gibson.
Oh yeah, he was
First,
lovely.
he was so lovely, and
Hmm.
he walked in, and the woman who stands at the front of the autograph room and sometimes will announce when an individual is coming in who needs one thing signed, who has like a special one-off, so that we don't miss grabbing the one special thing for them instead of like the team signed items. So she said, Mr. Gibson's here. And again, I just lost my cool as now I realize I tend to do. And I go, oh, I'm so excited. And she's like, Devin, we're trying to encourage them to come in the room, not scare them away. But Gibson just smiled. He was so nice about it. I'm like,
It
sorry,
was
like
funny.
you were the highlight of our summer. What can I say? But he's so down to earth. Like
Yeah.
these are professionals who are used to being in the limelight. So clearly they want to be private. They don't want to, overshare in case there's crazy people in the world. Um, Clearly they don't know us. No, I'm just kidding. But he was like, oh, I said, how do you like the Detroit area? And are you getting settled? Are you in the city? And he told me, no, I'm out. He gave me like his crossroads, like where he's like, oh, this is where my kids are going to school. Do you have any restaurant recommendations? Like the most down to earth guy
Very
ever.
nice.
And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet that you're just like, but then I realized he's new here. So
Mhm.
super fans like us know him immediately, but he probably still has the luxury of being able to like go about his daily business without being accosted by fans yet in the world, at least in like the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Probably,
he
probably.
was very he was very happy to be in Detroit, and everybody who was new to the team this year made mention of how impressed they were with Detroit and how beautiful Traverse City is.
Mhm.
So it was really nice. Even some of the guys from Europe who are from these like beautiful areas were like, "Wow, Traverse City is so lovely. You've got all these lakes." And it made me feel good that, it's a good reminder of how pretty Michigan really is. So it was a lot of fun. Thanks for
Mhm.
having me as your wing woman, Megan. I hope
Mhm.
I didn't mess anything up in our ordering system and you might have
We
me
didn't.
back next year.
We had no white slips without an item, so it doesn't get any better than that. So,
There we go. Perfect. Yes, there's a whole color coded system, I must say. So camp was a success.
mhm.
Are you going to be at the game tomorrow against Buffalo?
Yes. I have something that I have to wrap up at the old house,
Mm,
but we'll be there.
yes. Okay. So, news with Buffalo Sabres is interesting. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, as most of you know, has been day to day. Seems like he's going to be back on track, but in the interim, we've still got Georgiev, Lyon, and Levi in rotation. I was really hoping we'd get to see Lyon play in Detroit tomorrow, but he just played two of the three periods yesterday when against Columbus Blue Jackets, and then Levi came in for the third period, and not because they were winning, they were doing great, but the coach wanted to give each of the goalies two periods at a time. So game one in Columbus, it was Gorgiev for period one and two, then Levi, and then back home in Buffalo, it was Gorgiev for first and second period, and then Levi again for the third period. And then tomorrow, it's completely up in the air. So fingers crossed for me that I get to see Lion, but who knows? Maybe
Will there be a
6K will be
sign?
back. I debated about what sign, but I think I've landed on, oh, what was it? Oh, hey, Buffalo, you sure got a keeper. Get
Okay.
it? Keeper
Mhm.
goalie.
Mhm.
Okay. You approve?
Sure. We'll do our best to be there to see the festivities.
I sure hope you are. I hope you make it for warm ups. Yesterday when we went down for warm ups, it was almost like a homecoming. First off, some of the ladies that we know who we see all the time in line, they ran down to give us a hug. The ushers were high fiving. We stopped at the restaurant we've mentioned on the pod before that we love, Bassan, for a final as the parking garage cleared out. And we were greeted by Emily, the hostess, with hugs. The bartenders were welcoming us back. Like it's just it's good to be in hockey season again. So I'm excited to have you there. And your fiance this year
Yes.
who will actually be local. A
Mhm.
lot of fun.
Sorry, Shabuzi interrupted the normal flow of things, but I mean, Shabuzi.
You know what?
Can't
Shabuzi's your guy.
can't
So
skip that.
no, absolutely not. And the boots looked so cute. We may
Did I
have
do
to post a
okay?
picture. So cute. They're not
Yeah, I
comfortable,
mean,
but they're cute.
oh, I did okay.
Were they comfy? Okay.
Yeah. And I paired a little Kilo and Co tank,
Yes.
if you noticed.
I did notice. We'll have
Mhm.
to post one of the
Which
pictures on Hockey Style and tag them.
was complimented a couple times at the concert. So,
There you go.
mhm.
We'll have to tell Amanda and team
Yes.
from Kilo and Co.
Mhm.
So our most of our listeners know we're brand ambassadors for Kilo and Co, which is great because I think before they asked us, we were still just telling everybody how much we loved
Yeah.
Kilo and Co organically. So like we've made it official. And then today, a really cool thing happened, but our brand ambassadorship for 500 level, apparently they're happy with what we've been doing, Megan, with our pictures because they increased our coupon code for our listeners. They
Oh,
said,
yay.
love your content. Like, keep up the good work, ladies. It's been fun. We are upgrading your code. So now,
Oh.
yeah, it was formerly all caps hockey style 20 for 20% off. And thanks to all of you watching our content, it is now hockey style 30 for 30% off your total purchase.
Oh my gosh. Go
So
have fun shopping because that
go.
stuff is so fun.
They just dropped some new players too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, after I got the coupon code notification in the mail, I mean in the email, I logged in and saw a first thing I searched was John Gibson and brand
Mm,
new, hot off the presses. There is a Red Wings John Gibson design. So yeah,
that's fun.
that's gonna be coming.
Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. I'm
I
still
know.
obsessed with my Talbot shirt. I think it's the
It's
greatest thing
so
ever.
good. And your pictures are so cute how you styled it. And I have to give you a shout out because the founder of 500 Level reshared it on his Instagram story. And it's so cute because you took it for the listeners in front of your pool with the massive flamingo float in the back. And he reshared it with like a flamingo background behind it and Cam Talbot's giant face and sunglasses and his band shirt.
That's so good.
Yeah. Good job on that one.
Thanks.
Yes. Actually, Megan, I think they actually posted it on their page
Get
too
out of
on
here.
500
Blah.
level. You're basically famous now.
Yeah. Well, that one's a favorite. I have
Yeah.
a few that I still need to style. I need to figure out how to do it.
Yes.
We have to figure out what we're gonna do with Brock. Gotta give him a nice outing.
Oh, yes. I
Mm-hmm.
think you should get some cute little glasses like his.
Oh God.
Just some, some blue light glasses or something. Anyway, all right. Stay tuned. If you'd like to see how all of this shapes up, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Hockey Style Podcast, and you'll get to see the photos.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of fun with it. So we have our periods today are blended. It's just been one long scrimmage because of our stories about trading camp. But I will say this is probably the official start of the third period because we always end our episodes by leaving a style tip. And this style tip today is one we didn't have on our radar until we went to a Kilo and Co event, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the lovely vendors at the Kilo and Co kickoff fashion show was a salon that does something called glitter lights. And I don't even know how to describe it from there. What would you what would you say?
By the name, I had no idea. Um, the best way I can think to describe it is very subtle, very thin pieces of tinsel
Mhm.
that are heat resistant so that you can blow dry them, curl them. They are very finely knotted underneath like the top layer of your hair so that as you move and whatnot, you see little tiny bits of glitter. They call it hair glitter, but it's really like a strand. So you can get a lot, you can get a little. And we thought, let's go and be extra for training camp this year and get red glitter lights. And actually, can you see any of yours? My
I
lighting's
don't think
so
you can see any
terrible.
of mine.
You
I
might
could
be able
see
to
one of
see.
yours for a second.
Yeah, you might be able to see. I have some gold and some red in my face framing
Well,
layers.
nevertheless, if you're just listening, they're very sparkly.
They're honestly they're prettiest in the light because when you turn your head, they just glitter and they come out by themselves. They just sort of slide out or fall out
Yes.
as you naturally shed your hair in about
Mhm.
2 to 6 weeks. Non-damaging. And like I said, great because they're heat resistant. So yes, one of the vendors, the lawn next door,
Mhm.
did a few for us at the event, and so we decided to hire her to do some more before camp, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
I started Googling what is a lawn, LON, thinking it was some sort of like holistic, organic,
That's so funny.
hair, and I'm like, this is so weird. I'm not finding anything about a lawn.
We got it right away, but it
Oh,
does have a much cuter story than I realized.
yes, yes. Tell the story. What is the lawn next door?
The lawn next door is the salon next door. And the owner, when her daughter was young, she couldn't say salon. She would ask to go to the lawn. So when Betsy was opening her salon, the logical name was the lawn.
Yes, adorable. For
Mm-hmm.
no other reason than that is so cute. We had
It's
to
so
call
cute.
her.
Mm-hmm.
But we're very happy with the glitter lights, and we recommend our style tip today. If you're looking for a way to show your team spirit as you kick off the new season, or even certainly going into the holidays, check out glitter lights. You may have a vendor near you. And if you go to the website for glitter lights, you'll see exactly what we are describing, but they're just a lot of fun and they have like every color.
Yes.
We are partial to red, not shockingly.
Mm. Surprise,
So,
surprise.
yes. So that is our training camp recap and takeaways. The Red Wings have a lot to look forward to with the new batch of kids, if I can call them, the young guys coming up. And I hope we get to see a lot of them play this year. But if nothing else, Megan and I once again had an absolute blast. Megan and Devon do Traverse City.
God. Well, I think there's only one more thing that we should talk about really
What's that?
quickly. Um, that with the start of the season, we have officially closed out the Red Wings Summer 100.
How did I almost miss
I know.
this monumental moment, you guys?
Yeah,
Megan, I almost missed this. We would have had to like do an incremental podcast because
I
this was
know.
the highlight of our summer.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Yep.
watching on YouTube, I have the poster here and I'll hold it close because we are so proud. There is a check mark next to all 100 items. Um, wow, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We had to
Meg,
get creative.
yes. And the funny thing in retrospect is, upon first read, there were some things that I thought would be so difficult to achieve. Case in point, go meet an octopus. And we had no trouble finding the great Pacific octopus and getting a behind the scenes tour where we got to shake his tentacles. And then the
Mm-hmm.
things that I thought would be so easy were like the hardest. And the funniest thing that should be so freaking easy that we didn't get done until the day before the cutoff, which we had as the last day of summer, was next time you mow your lawn, pretend you're driving a Zamboni. So Megan and I are in Traverse City in the locker room. Like, where do we get? We just never had time to do it.
And please, if I may, it's not like we didn't try to get this done prior to this moment.
Yeah.
We talked about it several times, trying to figure out who's got a lawnmower, what are we going to
Yeah.
do, how are we going to make it work, and still hadn't figured it out until we're in Traverse City.
Yeah.
And standing there, who do we ask? Who do we know? Someone has to have a lawnmower, right? It's Traverse City. There's lawns.
Yeah. We're like looking at the guys walking by, like, he looks like he might work outdoors. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
he would have a lawnmower. We could drive over to his house and take a picture. And granted, we do have a lawnmower. My husband does cut our lawn, but it was just never a convenient time. He's like, Devin, I'm doing yard work. Like, I'm a mess. Go like, and so we had grand plans to actually try to like make a board and make the lawnmower look like a Zamboni and Megan would wave. And it just never happened. So all of a sudden, I saw a light bulb over Megan's head. Share your brilliant idea. I can't take credit.
I don't even know how I thought of this, but it was just like, well, if we can't find a lawnmower, as I stand here right now, I know where there's a Zamboni. Like,
Yeah.
can't we
But
just do that? Like,
we'll do the
just
opposite.
reverse it? Yeah, we'll just reverse it.
And it worked perfectly for us because it was all under the truth of the fact that we just aren't really yard work
Mm-mm.
girls.
Yeah,
So,
like I'm not mowing the lawn.
no, no. So,
Ew.
so rather than next time you cut the grass, pretend your lawnmower is a Zamboni. We said next time we're on the Zamboni, we'll pretend we're cutting the grass. We just don't
Mhm.
do yard work.
Yep.
So the director of camp said, if we said, we need a Zamboni, Tom, he's like, okay, that's a new request, but help yourself under the bleachers to the left. So we go all the way like under the bleachers. We run over. We're trying to be quick because the Red Wings players are coming off the ice for an important meeting right where we have to run through, right? So we get all the way to the Zamboni area. We got to do this fast, and neither of us
Neither of
had a
us brought a
phone.
phone. Perfect. Good job.
So I'm like, Megan, you wait, mind the Zamboni. I'll sprint back and try to grab my phone real quick before the players have to go through the hallway and I look like a crazy person. So I'm sprinting back. And by the time I came back, you had like befriended and shared
I was trying
this whole
because
narrative
I
with the
I knew
Zamboni.
the Zamboni drivers had to be like, what is she doing
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
here? Why
So
is
I'm
she just standing here? Like,
admiring the
sorry,
Zamboni.
sorry for the inconvenience,
They
but
couldn't have been nicer. They also like became our photographers
yeah, they
and
helped us with the photo shoot. They were great.
it was so funny. So, case in point, the Red Wing Summer 100 Challenge became some of the best memories that we made this summer. And I think that we'll always cherish because there were so many things we did that we never would have had on our radar.
Yeah,
So,
I think there needs to be a photo book made. I think that needs to happen.
yes, yes. Well, I started in Canva. I started taking like one picture from each of the 100 things to
Hmm.
make like a quick reel. So at least we have that. But I agree, like at least for us, we should make a photo book.
Definitely.
It's gonna be like a real lame summer next year if we don't find some sort of challenge.
Right?
We're
Look what
gonna
they've
have to.
done.
Yes, yes. So we need to get into our friend Ari, who was on the pod early when we kicked it off. He leads marketing over at LCA. He mentioned that he told the guys, hey, there's these two ladies who are doing all 100 things. So who knows if we'll ever sync up with them and we can share our funny stories and anecdotes. But it was a blast. So
We
congrats,
did have
Megan.
fun.
We did
Yeah,
it.
we did
Cheers.
it. Oh my
Cheers.
gosh.
I should show my winged wheel. Cheers.
Yes.
There is no one in the world I would rather take on ridiculous projects like that than you. Did I say that
And
right?
shout out to the husbands who helped in so many ways with that between taking 1,000 photos, take a picture, hand it the phone back. No, no, take that again.
Yeah.
They definitely helped every step of the way. So I don't think we could have done it
Yeah.
without them. So
We couldn't have. And I think they had some fun.
I hope so.
I think they had to do a few of the things, or at least like when it came to the hockey, there was like 5 or 6 actual hockey items. Like Megan's "Don't Get Cronwalled." She sacrificed.
Sacrificing life and limb. Just yeah.
Yeah, the husband to be had to be
Mm-hmm.
the Cronwall in that situation. My
Mm-hmm.
my husband did the like the snipe in the Michigan goal and a few of those that I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand in the goal and pretend to be the goalie. You can do the hard
Mm-hmm.
work.
Yes, absolutely.
It made for good content. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Topher and Brennan. We love you both.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we love all of our listeners. Thanks for hanging with us on this fun summer. Happy fall. Happy hockey season. Did I miss anything, Megan?
I think that was it.
It was. This was a fun episode. If you haven't yet, please do give us a subscribe. We love that you're part of our hockey style community and don't want you to miss a thing now that the new season's here. So we'll see you next week.
See you later.